What do you wish you had in high school that kids have today? An environment in which being smart is a good thing, and nerdy is not a bad thing. It still boggles my mind how mainstream media such as anime and superheroes, hell, even video games, are now. When I was in high school, liking those things still made you a bit of an outcast. My son is in his high school's robotics team. They have tons of tools to build robots to compete, including a big machine that cuts sheets of metal based on what digital file you sent it. I'd have loved to have had that. When I was in high school, the most advanced tool I had access to was a dot matrix printer. I wowed my classmates with my complex report covers made with word art and highly pixelated graphics. And GT, word art. Peak visual design. The Internet. I was able to use the Internet for a project during my senior year, really made me wish I'd had it my whole life. This project usually took 3 months, but I had it done in a week because most of that time was normally spent fact-finding. MP3 players / Spotify and the like. I had to carry around my Discman on my long walk home from school. Even with anti-skip it would still buffer every now and then. Don't get me started on batteries too. Nowadays it's so easy to listen to anything at any time, back then it wasn't. I'm still discovering new music from 20+ years ago thanks to Spotify. So much easier than sitting next to the radio with your finger on the record button so you could capture your favorite songs on cassette tape. Class of 1984, a word processing program. I cannot write or type for shit, I have dysgraphia. If I could have been able to get words on paper as easily as we can do now, who knows how my life might have turned out. This is something I'll never ever take for granted. I hate online textbooks, online gradebooks, and Dropbox assignments, but I really do love being able to type up assignments. Digital photography. I have so few pictures of friends and good times we had during high school because no one carried around a camera and bothered to get film developed. Of the ones we did have, most are long gone with no negatives to get them reproduced. Edit. To all of the folks saying to be glad because there aren't that many pictures to come back and haunt you. When you're in your 50s you'll be amazed at just how few people give a crap about the stupid stuff you did in high school. We all did stupid stuff, no one is unique in that aspect, you just grow to realize it wasn't really all that stupid. I was that annoying girl that brought her Canon DSLR with her every day and kept filming and shooting without consent. Don't know how and why I kept doing it even though everyone hated it, but now people are contacting me because they want to see photos from when they were teenagers. Programming classes. I seem to have just missed that after I graduated. I took my first high school programming class in spring of 1978. Khan Academy. It would have been cool to have access to Khan Academy when I went to school. It's still cool to have access to it today outside of school. The stuff you can learn on there is insane. Probably cell phones. The ability to call or text an individual to find out where they are was a revolution but wasn't widespread until I was in college. Used to have to call their parents' house and hope they were there. The idea that once you left the house you were just in a communication black hole until you returned or actively called someone from a payphone is a big change from the modern day. You had to make plans the day or morning before, and then if anything happened to derail those plans then whole thing was just a failure. I remember making the collect call and instead of my name I'd say pick me up real quick and after the message played my mom would decline the charges and know to pick me up. Ah, those were the days. So this isn't a tangible thing I wish I had, but I have a 14-year-old son and the one thing that I really admire about him and his entire friend group is that they are so open with their feelings with one another. It sounds cheesy, but it seems like kids in this current generation are much more okay with letting each other know they care. There's just an openness with them all that I find refreshing. It's something that I didn't experience in my sad goth staring out the window late 90s high school days, and I really love it about all those kids. Edit, a word. Edit 2. Thank you for the gold. To be honest, this entire thread has made my day. I am so happy that it seems like there are a bunch of kind kids growing up out there. I know there'll always be turds in the punch bowl but it makes me feel hopeful that the younger generation seems to be doing things right. I teach high school age drumline kids, mostly boys, and I am elated to say that I agree and it's definitely this generation.